All right. In this cenacle topic, I want to talk about the daily intentions that Jesus gave as part of this devotion. So again, it's a pretty straightforward presentation. But again, we go about our daily lives and we do what we want to do. We think about what we want to think about. In this devotion, Jesus gave Elizabeth things that should be the center of our lives of each of these days, intentions. So he says to her, "My daughter, I'm now going to specify how each day of the week should be allocated. The decision is yours. I respect your free will completely. You flatter me if you abandon it spontaneously to me." So it's her choice, right? What can I do? Monday, the day of the holy souls. Let all your actions be done with the purpose of helping them. In union with me, desire these souls contemplate my face as early as possible. Offer for them the strict fast as well as prayers during a part of the night. And again, that's the bread and water until 6 o'clock. I do not ask this strict fast and prayer just from you. Make public these requests jointly with other messages from my heart. Anyone fasting on bread and water on Monday will free each time the soul of a priest from the place of suffering. Whoever practices this will receive the grace of being liberated from the place of suffering within 8 days after their death. Our mother herself is asking for this. All right, so that's Monday. Tuesday, offer this day for the family. Make spiritual communions for each member of the family. Offer each person one by one to our dear mother. She will take them under her protection. You will also offer that evening vigil for them. My daughter, you must be responsible for your family, leading them to me, each in his own particular way. Right? Some come soon, some come later, some come kicking and screaming, but it is our job to lead each to Jesus, each in their own particular way. Ask for my graces on their behalf unceasingly. We will work together, and I cannot do without your support. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, a day for priestly vocations. Ask me for many young men with a fervent heart. You will get as many as requested because the desire lies in the soul of many young men, but there is no one helping them to realize their goal. Do not be overwhelmed. Through the prayers of the night vigil, you can obtain abundant graces for them. So that's Wednesday. Thursday is reparation to the Blessed Sacrament. On that day, you will spend hours in my sacred presence. Hours? I thought we measured this in minutes. Maybe seconds for some of us, right? Dashing to the car, right? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. On that day, you will spend hours in my sacred presence. Adore me with great fervor, making reparation for the many offenses inflicted upon me. Offer the strict fast for the 12 priestly souls. I say we might make that now for those leading the movement. But the strict fast, that bread and water until 6 o'clock. Offer also the nocturnal vigil for them. Immerse yourself into my sorrowful agony as I was sweating blood. You will draw great spiritual strength from it. Friday is the day of my passion. With all the love of your heart, immerse yourself in my sorrowful passion. When you arise in the morning, recall what was awaiting me the entire day after the terrible torments of that night. While at work, contemplate the way of the cross and consider that I did not have a moment of rest. Totally exhausted, I was forced to climb the Mount of Calvary. There is much to contemplate. I went to the limit. And I tell you, you cannot go to excess in doing something for me. From noon until 3 p.m., adore my sacred wounds. Hopefully you can keep fasting until the time my sacred body was taken down from the cross. If you accept to sacrifice yourself, my daughter, you will receive an even greater abundance of graces. I might point out there's actually what appears to be a mistake in the redacted version of the diary here. When they did the redaction, they confused a couple of things, and it says fasting until 3 o'clock when I was taken down from the cross. And I did check with the publishers of the full diary, and they said, no, that's not right. For one, Jesus wasn't taken down at 3 o'clock. He died at 3 o'clock. It was then a few hours before they finally got him down, so probably closer to the 6 o'clock we've been hearing. So that was a mistake in the redacted version. So we don't fast until 3, we fast until 6. But that's what he asks for Friday. Saturday, the day of our mother. On this day, venerate our mother in a special way with a very particular tenderness. As you are well aware, she is the mother of all graces. Wish that she be venerated on earth as she is venerated in heaven by the multitude of angels and saints. Seek for agonizing priests, priests who are at the point of death. Right? Seek for agonizing priests the grace of a holy death. Offer every moment of the day for that purpose. What a great reward you will receive. In heaven, priestly souls will intercede for you, and the Most Holy Virgin will be waiting for your soul at the hour of your death. Offer the night vigil for this intention also. And for Sunday, Elizabeth writes, for this day the lovable Redeemer gives no specific directions. Later on, we'll see that Mary asked that Sunday be used to pray for youth. But in this communication, Jesus didn't give her anything for Sunday. All right, so again, what are our next steps? Where do we go from here? This one's pretty straightforward. All right, so we start ordering our prayers, our thoughts, and our fasts around this schedule. We continue fasting, as we've learned. We continue living the unity prayer, being united with Jesus' intentions for each day. Let us walk together. This is what his intentions are. Well, if we're together, what are we going to do? Follow those intentions. Continue the flame of love, Hail Mary, and Rosary, the fivefold sign of the cross, joining our minds to his suffering, and offering our work, our sacrifices, our fasts, our masses, and adoration for the blinding of Satan and the salvation of souls. So a pretty straightforward one, but any thoughts or questions on this particular one? Jack, let's get your mic again. Oh, double dash.
John, a lot of us, I really don't have a problem with the fasting and the prayer. I have a very busy job.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to, you're constantly concentrating. It's also a dangerous job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes all of your concentration.
Mm-hmm. It comes back to that.
It's a little overwhelming.
It comes back to that where we started when I talked about fasting. It's not what do I have to do, but what can I do? You're right. It would be a foolish thing to be distracted while working on a dangerous job and someone gets hurt. Right? So, yeah, you're right. So we take this and we implement it as we can with wisdom and love.
But even to you're constantly concentrating on your prayer going to bed, praying for the priest. To constantly concentrate on those prayers and still have, to get your chores done for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how strict is this? How deep do we have to go with this? I don't understand.
Okay.
Could I help them?
Sure, please.
I had the same problem. I have the two dogs. I have him and I have a house that I'm taking care of without my husband.
Mm-hmm.
First couple of days I did the right Hail Marys with the rosary. Now I have to walk the dog with my rosary. I can't bring the paper with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I said a little prayer to Mary. I said a little, that this is what I have to do today.
Mm-hmm.
All my work done. And you just make a little act of contrition, whatever prayer you like to say at the beginning of the day. And then you leave it in Mary's hands. And if she needs you to do something, she'll let you know. But if you read the diary of St. Faustina, you can't do all the things St. Faustina did. You're not in a convent.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So it's the same kind of thing here. This is what Jesus was telling her. We have to take a lot of these things I've been doing all along, especially my holy hour on Thursday. But I'm not going to be there for hours. Unless nobody shows up. I have to
Right.
do that. But, you have to use common sense, the whole thing, and apply it to your life, the way it works for you. And don't feel guilty about it.
Right.
God will guide you.
That's very true. Let's take it from two perspectives. That we are going to see, in fact, we'll have a separate section on an important theme and part of the devotion of how complete our dedication must be. So we do want to find ways to how do we, as completely as we can, give ourselves to this, right? At the same time as we do that, let's please come back to where I started. It's where I started tonight on the fasting presentation, that it's so important to remember that this is about love. It's about how far can we take love. So if we start thinking, okay, what do I have to do and how well do I have to do this? Am I doing enough? We're going to start tying ourselves in knots. So this is something that we might not get right the first time. If even getting it right is the right way to phrase it, it's probably not the right way to phrase it. We learn by experience. So we try. That doesn't work. I try this. That works a little better. I go down this way. So it's not as if God is going to zot us, because not that that's what you're thinking, but it's not as if we're going to get a check mark against us. There's the wonderful freedom that God gives us to say, how much can you love? Now, with that great freedom comes great responsibility. Then it does become upon us to be honest with ourselves and say, how much can I do? But it's all about this wonderful, wonderful relationship of love. And when we jettison that whole idea of what do I have to do, am I doing enough, it gives us such great freedom from the guilt, it gives us the freedom from the nagging, it gives us the freedom from all kinds of things. Consequences, we just have to be honest. How much can I love? So I wouldn't sweat it. I would just say, okay, today I'm going to try it this way. And if that doesn't work, tomorrow I'm going to try it that way. Just like you said, you adapt. In fact, we'll see a section where Jesus says to Elizabeth, be creative. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do. Be creative. So that's what we do.
You know what it was, too, coming back to Satan. I love doing the rosary this way.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, I'm going to find a time to do it. Well, I went to sleep that night. Oh, sorry. Went to sleep that night without saying the rosary at all. So maybe Satan won that battle. You know what I mean? But my heart was in it. I wanted to do it. So then I went back to doing the rosary when I walked the dog. So I knew it was done. Then I could always hear the prayer later on. But it's so hard. You can't just do what he told her to do all the time.
Right. Now, it's going to be interesting. It's not to contradict. It's to enhance. One of the things we'll see in the presentation that we'll do on how dedicated we have to be is Jesus' statement to Elizabeth that this is why he gave this devotion to a mother, to show that it was possible to do this within a family setting as opposed to being in a monastery or being in a convent. Okay? So again, it's just a matter of, let's not freak out about that. It's just the one thing keep in mind. We are free to love. That's the bottom line, is to ask ourselves honestly, how much can we love? And if what we're doing is how much we can love, that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, without worrying about, did I get this right? Walk in that freedom. And that freedom will test our honesty, and that honesty builds our love. It's a beautiful way to walk. It takes away all that guilt, but it puts the onus on us to be honest. So just see how far you can love. That's what it's all about. Anything else? Any other thoughts on this particular one? Yes, Debbie.
I was thinking, for me, I really want to do this, but I know I can't do it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, even just learning to say the rosary a different way, the Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the Hail Marys I pray, maybe I get out of one rosary, I get maybe 10 Hail Marys the new way, because my brain...
Your brain just goes there, right?
Goes in a different
Mm-hmm.
direction for about 9 out of the 10 Hail
Yep.
Marys. So, and I, rather than feeling, I said, okay, I did the best I could, my heart is in the right, so I have this conversation going on. I think just being patient with ourselves, because change, no matter what the change is going to take time, and whatever we can do. I'm not Elizabeth. I don't think I'm going to be able to go to the degree that she did. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe when I'm, whatever day I die, I would have said, okay, finally I did it. But I know I'm not going to be there now, because I just can't. And it's the same, we talk about what our responsibilities are. Right now, I'd like to be doing certain things, out in the community. I used to give rosaries and things. I can't because I'm taking care of my mother. And there's a lot of things that go on in my family. I need to be at home.
Yes.
And so can't do a lot of these things that I think I should be doing, but that's not that's my will. It's not God's will. I'm
That's
supposed
right.
to be. So the Blessed Mother and Jesus are very patient, and they love our efforts, whatever they are, so.
Yes, stay tuned. We'll see more on this topic. And you're right, just stay there. Stay there with the thought of how much can I love? Put all the rest aside. And when we're doing as much as we can love, thank you, my Lord. Don't worry. Don't worry. Love. And be at peace. And we'll grow by experience. You'll find, for a couple of months, this is as far as you can go. And then maybe you go this far for a couple of months, and then this far for a couple of months, and then life situation changes, and you can only go this far. That's okay. Love. Love. That's what we're doing. Love honestly, love wisely. And don't get too caught up in, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. That'll bring us a whole lot of peace.